Hi, welcome to Making All the Plans. I'm Connie, and if we haven't met before, I'm a busy mom of 2 active kids, and both my husband and I have full-time careers. My goal is to share with you how I stay on top of all life throws at me in one planner so that you might be able to do the same. I am currently planning for the month of July, and I do keep all 12 months in my planner at once. I am noticing that there is no space at the beginning of the month, but there is some space at the end. I just have these pretty summer flowers printed and some colorful boxes that will coordinate with those flowers. And of course, I wouldn't be me if I didn't have some washi tape on hand as well. I am leaning towards one of the thinner orange washi tapes, and I think I'm going to use this one that has all this different patterns. It's quite a mixture. It's very unique, but I like that it's just a little bit different than things that I normally use. So there's a little bit of polka dot, a little bit of striped, and just different patterns all thrown into the same washi tape. But let's go ahead and get started. I am going to just start by laying down the different functional boxes, and I'm going to use this washi tape just to note that I'll be on vacation for the first 5 days of the month. So I'm going to run this washi tape across those first 5 days. I'm going to put a box over it, and that to me means that that event lasts all 5 days. And I'm going to use my Live Love Posh washi tape cutter to cut the edges in a straight line. And if I lose this at some point, I will probably just grab a ruler. Or if I don't leave enough to pull it and cut it against the tape cutter, I will just grab my slice tool and cut it along the line. It's especially easy since it's the very thin washi tape. But I do have my Google Calendar open to the side of me so that I can reference it as I am building out my calendar. A lot of times I will go through and put post-it notes on my calendar, but I just haven't had time to do that this month, and things have changed a lot, so I would have had to reference my Google Calendar anyway. But let's go ahead and start dropping in the functional boxes. I do have jury duty 2 days this month, and a lot of times you get called off for them, but I do still want to put them on my calendar just in case I do need to attend them. I am just going to use a Kelly Creates '05 tip pen to write in my events for this month. I just like that it's a little bit bolder than my Muji .38, and I don't really like to make this one erasable. If I need to come in and change something, I will usually use my undo and just take up the box that I don't need anymore or that has been messed up, and I will put a new box down. I normally keep this set of stickers in my planner so that if I need to add something, I can very easily. I initially was going to color code things, but then I realized that I would have a grouping of the same color. So instead, I decided to just vary the colors throughout the page. I am now dropping in birthdays and anniversaries just to make sure that I don't forget about them. I am also referencing the Google Calendar and trying to decide whether or not I need a big box or a smaller box. For birthdays and small things, I normally use the small boxes, and then for bigger events, I use bigger boxes, but it really isn't very consistent this month. I really kind of just was all over the place. Kind of if I needed to write more, I got a bigger box, and if I didn't have as much to write, then I used a smaller box. But I did like how it ends up being spaced out, so I think it worked out well. I also like these thin, long boxes so that I can note the items that are lasting more than one day. So my son has a soccer tournament over the 3 days, and that way I can use one sticker and denote that across all 3 days. So the things that I put on this calendar include out of the ordinary items like jury duty, any trips that I have to take, birthdays, like a big meeting that I have on the 10th, that's on the calendar, soccer tournaments, different things like that. Things that I do not put on this calendar are like soccer practices or my work meetings that are just normal work meetings that I have every week. But I feel like if I were to put all that on this monthly overview, that it would get very full very quickly, and then it wouldn't be very helpful, and I would be having to update it all the time. My work meetings change a lot, and it would get frustrating to have to come onto this page and update that frequently. So the kids and I will still be in South Dakota until the 5th, and then we have another family reunion on the 6th. Ben has a soccer tournament the weekend of the 12th, so I'm hoping that I don't have jury duty on the 12th. I have a cousin's birthday on the 11th. Ben has a dentist appointment on the 18th. The boys' soccer team has a team bonding event on the 21st. We have two birthdays to celebrate on the 8th. I probably should check to make sure that neither one of those are milestone birthdays. I want to say no, but I should probably double check. And then an anniversary to celebrate on the 15th. We have a very busy dental month. Ben has a wisdom teeth consult on the 16th. We're going to see if it's time for him to get his wisdom teeth out, and then hopefully we can get that scheduled over Christmas between soccer seasons. And then Ben has a hair appointment on the 17th. Kenzie's birthday is on the 29th, and she also has a well visit. And then on the 10th, I have a live launch session, and I'm always appreciative when that doesn't fall on a Tuesday or a Thursday when I have to go into the office. So let's get this page decorated. I do want to use some of this washi tape in different areas around the page. My first thought was down in the bottom, but I wasn't exactly sure how I wanted to make that work. So I did go ahead and just start by decorating the sidebar. The first thing I'm going to do is run this washi tape just up the side. I'm just going to leave a narrow margin there. There are lines in the sidebar, so I use the end of the line to line up the washi tape. And I just run it all the way up the page and trim it with my scissors. And my next debate was how exactly am I going to lay the flowers on the sidebar? Originally, I thought about just doing a grouping in the bottom, but I didn't want to leave the whole sidebar blank. I don't really have a use for it anymore since I track progress of my goals other places. So I am delaying the decision a little bit by adding a little decor next to where I wrote South Dakota trip because I didn't like how it left a lot of empty space in the box. So I do go ahead and cover that up with a floral sticker. And then I do also decide to run some washi tape across the bottom here. Again, partially because I'm delaying deciding what I'm going to do with these floral stickers. I really think they're cute, but I want to use them in a purposeful way. So I've decided that I'm going to try to cut them in half and lay them along the washi tape. And my debate was whether I should put them so that they were covering the washi tape or whether they butted up against the washi tape. So I started by covering the washi tape, but then as I go through, I decide that some of them I want to be butted up against the washi tape and others I want to overlap the washi tape. I also decided that I want the flowers to overlap each other. I don't want to leave a bunch of space or an equal amount of space or anything like that in between the flowers. So I've decided that I am going to cut them in half or partial, and then I am going to either butt them up against that washi tape or overlap the washi tape. And I'm going to try to vary them. I'm going to try to vary the colors, and I'm going to try to vary the types of flowers that are next to each other. So now that we know what the plan is, let's speed this process up just a little bit more. I think from start to finish, this took about 45 minutes, and then maybe an extra 15 minutes printing out the florals and the boxes on my printer and cutting them with the Cricut. My favorite sticker on the sticker sheet are these pinwheel florals, and I'm debating about whether or not I want to do a whole spread with just these pinwheels. I'm thinking if I printed them and cut them out in different sizes and maybe even shade them a little bit different, I could get a pretty cool spread. I really like how different they are compared to most of the normal florals that I work with. And you will definitely be seeing more sunflowers coming up later in the summer. I have quite a few sunflower sticker sheets that I am excited to pull in onto my spreads. So this isn't the quickest method of decorating. However, I do like how it turns out, and I did have a lot of fun doing it and putting the flowers together. I did try to leave them at least in half or more if I was butting them up against the line. If I were going to tuck them in behind other florals, it would have been fine to just use a little bit, but I really had plenty of flowers, so I was not trying to stretch them. So I thought I would keep the florals either half or more on the line. I also really liked that pop of green that the foliage brought in, so I'm glad that I did incorporate some of those leaves into the spread. The leaves from this one sticker sheet and the leaves from the sunflower sticker sheet didn't match exactly, but I thought that since I had two different green boxes, that it pulled both of those colors into the spread nicely. I also like that when you do a method like this, whether it is along the washi tape or down the middle of the page or across the bottom of the page, you're not using up any of the functional space of your planner. So there is still plenty of room for functionality here. Now I want to make sure I can drop in some of the quotes that I had printed out. And this proved a little bit more difficult than I was expecting because of how they're cut, I guess. But the first one that I dropped in says, "You are so much sunshine in every square inch." And then the one up on the second says, "When all else fails, take a vacation." I thought that was appropriate. And then I am trying to drop in this little sticker with the flamingo on it, but it just doesn't seem to fit right there. I'm not sure what it is about that sticker, but I just feel like it doesn't fit right. So I'm going to play around with it. I'm going to try to make it work, but I just don't like how it sits there. And I tried to tuck in that sunflower sticker, but then it looked like it was just growing out of the other flower below it. So I decided to take the stem off, and then I ripped the paper. So I brought in my undo and I took up the stem. I tried to drop in a different leaf sticker there. I didn't like that either. So I ended up coming back and taking that sunflower sticker out altogether. I do leave the quote for the time being, but eventually I will come in and take that up as well. But while I'm trying to decide about that area, I just switch over to a different area. I did decide to put a cluster of florals up near the year in the top right-hand corner, and I'm just laying them over the edge and then trimming them off. It's easier when you're on the edge of the paper to do it this way than to try to guess how much of the flower you want and trim it down before. I want to put another one of these pinwheel flowers in, and I played around with the positioning and then it also ended up in the corner. I also decided to put a little bit of washi tape up there just to carry it across the page a little more. And I used the slice tool to trim around the flower a little bit. And then I used the washi tape cutter just to take that to an angle instead of it being such a hard ending. So here's where I pull that quote up, and after letting the undo dry, I do decide to tuck in this quote that says, "Be kind to your mind." I do pull that floral up just so I can tuck it and nestle it down into the flowers a little bit more, and then I just moved that floral somewhere else. But I do like that. However, now I don't like that there's only one of that type of quote. So I'm still debating on what I'm going to put on the spread. So I grabbed this Radiate Energy sticker and decide that I am just going to drop it in, but I still feel like I need one more somewhere up in the top area. So I do grab the "You are beautiful, you are worthy, you are enough" sticker. And then I just want to put one more of the ones that have like the cursive font to it. So I do finally decide on this. Every summer has a story, and I play around with where I'm going to put it for a while. And then once I realize that I should pair it with a floral, like I did on the first and second, then I feel better about it. I don't like that it just was floating out there. So now that the floral has a home for it, I feel better about the placement. So I feel good about this layout. I do have plenty of stickers left to do my monthly goal setting sheet. I like to use the same theme, so I will put those to the side for when I get back from vacation. But thank you so much for coming along with me. I hope that everyone has a great start to their July and are ready for a productive month. If you like videos like this, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to see more, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!